7:36 here on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer, cleaning up the liberal bull. My friends, it's my distinct honor and privilege to now have Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky Republican, possible 2016 Republican presidential nominee, on the show. Senator Paul, thank you so much for coming on the Kuhner Report.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Senator, let me ask you this. Obviously, yesterday, House Speaker Boehner made a very dramatic speech. House Republicans now are threatening to defund certain agencies within DHS to stop Obama's executive actions on illegal immigration. Do you support Boehner's decision, and how do you plan in the Senate to bring Obama to heel and stop him from implementing his unilateral executive amnesty?
I absolutely say we should defund the executive orders that the president has done, because they basically are not constitutional. Constitutionally, the Congress is supposed to pass laws, not the president. So I've been saying all along that when we pass our spending bills in the Senate or in the House, we should attach thousands of instructions, not just on immigration, on everything. We should attach instructions on how the money should be spent. That is the power of the purse. If you just send the money over and let the president do whatever he wants with it, then you're abdicating your power. So absolutely, I'm for Congress attaching all kinds of instructions as to how the money can be spent so we get rid of waste.
Senator, as you know, President Obama has said he will veto if any bill that is not a, quote, clean bill. And this raises the specter or the possibility of a shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. Are the Republicans in the Senate and in Congress willing to go to the brink and possibly risk a DHS shutdown?
I think what will happen, and this is why it gets complicated, when it comes over to the Senate, you have to have 6 Democrats and all the Republicans to support anything that comes through. So there is a chance that we get back into the situation just like the previous situation over funding of Obamacare, that there frankly aren't enough votes to get it out of the Senate. So then we are sort of stuck. And then we get back to the question of, are people willing to leave the Department of Homeland Security shut? And that's the real question. If you're willing to do it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, the president might capitulate. But if he knows that the Republicans will capitulate within a day or two, maybe he stays pat. But there is another way also. The other way is that moving forward, the appropriation bills that we will pass, if we put those on his desk and he has to affirmatively veto them, I think we're really open to having that debate. And the problem is with this one, I don't believe we get it to his desk necessarily, because I don't believe there'll be 6 Democrats in the Senate who will actually vote for it.
Senator, Mitt Romney has now said to a lot of his major donors he's seriously considering running again in 2016. Is Mitt Romney, in your view, the answer for the Republican Party in 2016?
You know, about a month or two ago, they asked Governor Romney this question, and his answer was that he'd had his chance and that it was time for somebody new. I continue to sort of agree with Governor Romney's previous statements that really it is time for somebody new. It's not that I dislike him. I liked him as a person. I think he's a great businessman. I think he would have run the country much better than President Obama, obviously. But you got to attract a big enough constituency, and that means new people, young people. It means more African Americans in our party. It means more Latinos in our party. It means a more diverse party, more working class party. We got to do all of those things, and we got to find the candidate who can actually do that.
And Senator, are you saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you saying that you believe Mitt Romney is not the man to bring in these new voters and fresh faces into the Republican Party?
I guess people will just have to, decide for themselves. They'll have to look and see, what were the objective results of 2012. And I think, we didn't win, obviously, and it doesn't look like we're bringing in new constituencies of folks to vote for Republican candidates. So I think we do need to consider something fresh, new face, and nothing personal against him, but I think really probably he's had his chance and we need to try something new.
Senator, what are your feelings on Jeb Bush? Many establishment Republicans say he's the man Republicans should support. Is he too far to the left in your view?
Well, I think what we'll have to debate is whether or not we want at the head of our party someone who believes in more control of education in Washington, more centralization, somebody who also will probably be the only candidate for president who won't be willing to pledge not to raise taxes. So, that's a real question. Do we want a moderate to run, be our nominee, or would we rather have a conservative? And that's something the primaries will sort out.
Senator, let me ask you one final question, because I know you got to leave and do a TV interview. This is from one of our listeners on Facebook. Why isn't the Libertarian Party stepping up to the plate with a third-party option during these times when neither of the two main parties is being trusted? You're a libertarian. Your father was a very famous and brilliant libertarian. Do you think now if the Republicans go with a rhino or a moderate candidate, is there now room for a third party in the United States, a libertarian party, and could you be the man to lead it?
You know what, I think when you look at surveys, many surveys will say that a plurality of Americans are no longer Republican or Democrat. You go up into New Hampshire, where I was yesterday, and a third of the people are independent. So I think there is a burgeoning movement that is neither Republican nor Democrat, but the election laws actually are very, very heavily weighted against a third party. It's very, very hard to get on the ballot. It's almost impossible to get into presidential debates. Once upon a time, the presidential debates were controlled by the League of Women Voters. They're now controlled by the Republican-Democrat Commission. So they're sort of a lock by the two parties. So I don't know if a third party will ever arise that can actually compete with the other two parties. As far as I'm concerned, I think my job is within the Republican Party. I've always been a Republican, and I plan on remaining a Republican.
Very quickly, if you were president, would you have gone to Paris for that march?
Absolutely. And it sort of shocks me that a president who seems to be more, seems to understand the importance of symbolism more than action, that this symbol, and it would have been a symbol, but this symbol of solidarity, it amazes me that they didn't quite fathom this. But also one of the reasons I think could be is that maybe he's given up, maybe he's done. Republicans won the last election. He's not planning on signing any legislation. He really doesn't appear like he wants to work with Republicans at all, or work for that matter. So I really think that I'm wondering what's going to happen in the last 2 years, and I'm worried about the country if things keep going the way they're going.
Senator Rand Paul, thank you so much for coming on the Kuhner Report. Best of luck to you, sir, and you're always welcome back.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care.